outside inspection. You start off with your radiator reservoir. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and is filled to manufacturer specification. Then you have your alternator, and its wires are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. There are no bare or frayed wires, and there's no more than 3/4 of play in the belt when pressed in the center. Then you have your water part, which is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it is gear driven. Then you have your windshield washer reservoir, which is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it is filled to manufacturer specification. Now we're going to go to the driver's side. We're going to start from the inside out, then top down. We want to say my air compressor is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it is gear driven. Then I'm going to say my oil fill and dipstick is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it's filled to manufacturer specifications. Then I'm going to say my power steering pump and its hoses are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it is gear driven. I'm going to say my gearbox and its hoses are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. My power steering reservoir and its hoses are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it is filled to manufacturer specifications. Then I'm going to say my steering shaft is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and there should be no more than 10 degrees of turn when turned on. Then I'm going to say my pitman arm, my drag link, my steering arm, and my tie rod are all properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken, and they're tied together by castle nuts and cotter pin. Here's your castle nut, and here's your cotter pin, and there are 3. 1, 2, and then 3. All right. Then I'm gonna say my front and rear shackle and my U-bolts are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken, and there are no missing, broken, or shifted leaves. Then I say my shock and its mount is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, because shocks do leak. Then I'm gonna say my brake chamber and its hoses is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. Then I'm gonna say my push rod and my slack adjuster is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken, and there should be no more than 1 inch of play on the slack adjuster when pulled upon with the brakes release. Now on this particular brake system, there's a cover, but you'll be looking in here for your brake drum and lining, and you should say that the brake drum should be properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken, and there should be no oil or grease on the lining, and the lining should not be dangerously thin, which is less than 1/4 inch. Then I'm gonna come to my tire. I'm gonna say my tire, both sides, should be properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. It should be evenly worn. It should be a tread depth of 4/32 for the steers. There should be no bulges or no cuts. There should be a valve stem and cap in place, and it should be filled to manufacturer specification, and I can check it with the tire gauge. Then you're gonna say my rim, outside and inside, should be properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken, and there should be no illegal welds. Then you're gonna say my lug nuts should be properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken. There should be no shiny treads, no rust trails, or no oblong hole, which would indicate a leak. Then I would say my hub seal, both sides, should be properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it should be filled to manufacturer specifications. Then I'm gonna come to my door. Then I'm gonna say my door, my hinges, and my mirror should be properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken. And my door should open and close. Then I'm gonna open up my door and say my weather seal is intact. And then my steps and my handheld are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken, and the steps can hold my weight. Then you close the door, you let them know my fuel tank should be properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or leaking, and the fuel strap should be intact, and it should not be leaking, and the fuel cap should be intact, and there should be a seal on the cap, and there's fuel in it. Okay? Then you're gonna come to the back, to the catwalk, and you're going to tell me the catwalk, which should be properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken. There should be nothing lying on the catwalk, and there should be no illegal welds. My exhaust system should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken. There should be no soot or rust will indicate a leak. Then you're gonna say my frame and its cross members are properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken, and there are no illegal welds. Then you're gonna say my front and my rear drive shaft is properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken, and there's nothing wrapped around the drive shaft. Then you're gonna look at your hoses. My air hoses should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. My electrical hose, there should be no bare or frayed wires, and they should not be laying on the catwalk. Then you're going to come over to your fifth wheel and say the fifth wheel should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or broken. All right. Your fifth wheel release arm should be in the proper position. The fifth wheel should be properly greased to help with the steering. My platform should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or broken. All right. Then you're going to come and ask the examiner, what axle would you like for me to examine? Most likely you're going to say the rear, then you're going to come to the back, and you're going to point into the capture zone of the fifth wheel and let him know that the jaws of the fifth wheel, when connected to a trailer, will be hooked to the fifth wheel or the kingpin. Then you're going to start pointing at items back here. You're going to say my airbags are properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. Then you're going to say my brake chamber and its hoses are properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. Then you're going to look at your slack adjuster and the push rod. Let them know it should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or broken. And it should be no more than 1 inch of play on the slack adjuster when pulled upon with the brakes released. Then you're going to look at your shocks and your mounts. Once again, tell the examiner it should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, because shocks do leak. Then you're going to look inside of the drum and you're going to say my drums and my lining should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or broken. There should be no cracks or oil or debris on the lining, and it should not be dangerously thin. Then you're going to say my shackles and my U-bolts should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and there should be no missing or shifted leaves. Then as you come out, you're going to say my mud flap. It should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and not hanging too low to the ground. Then you're going to say the space in between the two tires are called the butting space. There should be nothing in between it. Then you're going to come back again to the axle that he told you to do, which is the real one, and you're going to say my tires should be evenly worn. They should all match. There should be no bulges or no cuts. The back drive tire should be no less than 2/32 of tread depth. And then it should be filled to manufacturer specification, and the valve stem and the cap should be present. Then you're going to say my rim, outside and inside, should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken, and there should be no illegal welds. Then you're going to say my lug nut should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, bent, or broken. There should be no shiny treads, no rust trails, or no oblong holes which would indicate a leak. Then you're going to say my axle seal should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it should be filled to manufacturer specification. And that completes the inspection for a pre-trip Class A certification.